Record. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. My name is Jennifer Jobson, and I'm one of the team leaders here. And I'm super excited to have tonight. This is our 6 to Success, and this is week 5. And we are delighted to have Paul Capozio, a Diamond Ambassador with New You Life, and a great leader. He's a great friend, and he is one of the most sincere people that I know. And he loves the gel, and he is a great singer as well. Paul, welcome to our team Zoom tonight.
Thank you, Jen. I'm really, really happy to be here. I know we kind of tried to schedule this a few times, and my schedule got a little crazy, but I'm so glad to be here. I see you like a lot of floral artwork. I have a ton of it over here. I absolutely love anything. Yeah, absolutely love it. Those are poppies, but I absolutely
those are poppies. My mom did this.
Oh, did she really?
Yeah.
Excellent. I love it. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I got my yellow rose up there. That's
I see that.
But I have quite a few. I have a few more here. I don't want to turn the camera, but I have a few more, but whatever.
It's fun to have color. It's very fun to have color. So here we are, Paul, in 6 weeks to success, and we've been having different field leaders. We've had Brian Mira, we've had Megan and Casey on as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and sure. Danielle is closing us out next week. So what we want to do here is I want you to imagine that this was your team, because we know we are one big family in New You Life.
Absolutely.
And really think about things that you would be teaching and educating your team on, especially during this season that we're in right now. What are some things, some calls of actions? Where should their head be? What should they be focusing on right now? And we will go wrapping it up in about 20 minutes so that everybody can get on the corporate call. Go ahead.
Sure. So here's the thing. There's two types of people right now. There are those who are going to really get super nervous about what's going on with the whole virus thing and everything, and they're going to get bogged down in their own, wallow in that. And there are other people who are going to say, well, this is a call to action. The whole idea of it should be a wake-up call for a lot of people. So, if you're someone who's built a business big, you want to try to build it bigger right now, because you have a lot of people who are reaching out to you who maybe didn't take you up on the offer, or they did take you up on the offer and didn't go to work, right? This is a time, the fear is really comes down to this. Yes, we're all afraid we may get sick, but we know that we're probably going to be okay. Really deep down in our hearts, we know that, yes, the numbers sound horrible, but if you really think about in the grand scheme of things, most of us are going to be okay, and we're going to maybe know someone who was affected by it. So that's really ultimately what most is going to happen. So what is the real fear then? So the real fear really is, oh my God, I'm out of work, or I didn't put money away, or how am I going to get through the next couple of months? And people are focusing on the $2,000. People will go out of their way to figure out how to fill out every form to get that $2,000. But yet if you did something, maybe 6 months ago, then it's going to make a difference to you now. And that's what people are realizing. So that's really what the fear is. I'm not saying it's good or bad that you did or didn't. What I'm saying is that's truly what you're experiencing. So if you acknowledge the why of why you're feeling the way you're feeling, then you can kind of go to the next step. And what is the next step? The next step simply is things like this exposure. I did a Zoom this morning with a guy from Sweden. Okay. Now, how does that happen? It happens because he watched a live that I was on, and it wasn't actually one of my better things. I mean, you know me, I'm not the type to make sure the camera is right and have 50 different lights and everything, wherever it is. My iPad is balanced on a little box, leaning against a wine opener thing, sitting on a shot glass. Right? So if I could do it that way as Diamond Ambassador, you don't need to go out and spend tons of money, but you need to basically be someone that someone wants to be around. It's that simple. It's not anything more. That's what all of these things are, these lives and the Zooms and people who, and look, I don't even need to have a lot of cleavage showing to really be successful in network marketing. So what I'm trying to tell you is you want to be someone people would want to be around and be interesting. So that's the first thing. The second thing is this. It's not your job to focus on the people who are not focusing. Your job is to focus on the people who are focusing, and the other people will follow. So what you're doing is when people see me moving forward, some people get really excited about it, and some people actually get like mad at me for it. Hey, I see you're talking to another group, right? Some people on my team may get upset that I'm helping your team. All of that is those limiting beliefs that come up inside. What you need to do, if you really want to get momentum for your entire team, even if your team is a team of one, meaning just you, Constantly be moving forward, constantly be reaching out and talking to new people, showing what you do for a living, explain to people why you're feeling the way you're feeling. If you do that, you're going to create a vortex. You're going to create a forward pull in your organization that people are going to want to say, well, why is he focusing over there when he should be focusing on me? And my answer purely is because you're not focusing on yourself. And if you're focusing on yourself, I would be available. I will work as hard on your business as you are willing to work on it. So if I'm available I've never turned down a three-way call unless I had to postpone it, or even this event, right? I was going to do an earlier call, but we're doing it, right? It's never a no. It may be a no right this moment, but that's what you need to do. You need to create that forward momentum constantly. And don't get stuck in busy work. Busy work is that, I tell people too, there's some great calls, corporate calls. But if you have a choice between getting on a corporate call and maybe calling that chicken list, your first priority is to call that chicken list. Because everybody on this call is already in the business. So really the opportunity here is to learn. But if you have to balance out between your learning, your execution, and then your just regular outreach and talking to people. It's a constant, and people tend to go towards the path of least resistance, which, why do we love to be on corporate calls? Well, we learn a lot, but we also are in we're around amongst our peers. There's really no pressure. It's a very easy call. Everybody says yes. We've all already said yes. So be very careful not to get sucked into that. I call them the lovers, the people who know the answer to every question, all the data you need, the comp plan, the dosage, the amount of product in the bottle, what's the third ingredient down from the top, is all available for you to find and research, or let your team go find and research, right? So to do all that study is detrimental to your building your business. And it also doesn't make you, your story is greater and your results are probably more impressive to someone than your knowledge of, that there's Supernala Sui and we have Velvet Bean in the product, right? Most people don't care, most people really don't care. So create that constant momentum, even if it's just you.
Okay, let me just check and see if there are any questions here.
Oh, sure. Yeah, any questions at all, no matter what it is, I'd love to answer them.
A lot of people are agreeing. I mean, it is true. It's like, to keep that momentum, the best thing that you can do is stay in action, is constantly doing money-making activities. That's very, very important.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So three-way calls. What are some of the things that you could, again, if this were your team, what could you tell our team about three-way calls, getting people on? Or do you have like a certain copy and paste message that you use, Paul, that you get to
So let's get into that and really what's working for duplication. Many of you, I don't teach about approaching people with the product because that's something people will do automatically. I never teach something that I feel is a natural reflex. And the natural reflex in this business is to talk about the product. And what we do when we talk about the product, which we need customers, but we're going to generate customers when we talk about the product. So all of my outreach, 100% of my outreach is, I have an opportunity I need you to take a look at, or I really think you should take a look at this opportunity. When do you have 5 minutes? That is the text outreach, right? I always also believe in building rapport. Here's something to know on social media. If you're broadcasting or just sending someone the video through Facebook Messenger or even a text, even when you're using the app, you need to have a 2 or 3 text interaction, or at least get an answer from that person so that your message doesn't go into spam. You can get flagged not only in Facebook Messenger. How many have went in and tried to send out 50 videos in Facebook Messenger and get shut down? Because you're not having an exchange with the person first. You're blind marketing them. That is also going to start happening more and more with regular texts, okay? It's going to happen with your texting as well, because it's anti-spam software and algorithms that are building. So once you build that rapport, hey, how you doing? Good. I teach the never-ending list, and I'll go with that because it's important to understand that, people complain on Facebook. It is the greatest. It's so easy to market on Facebook because people love to tell you their problem. My back hurts, my butt hurts, my hair is too thin. It's not growing fast enough. I wish I had bigger lip. Whatever it may be, people love to put that stuff out there. That's your time to react. But I guess the point of what we're saying is the mechanism to get to the three-way call seems to be a problem for a lot of people. And after the video, it's very simple. Here's the text. Here's what works 99% of the time. When can I call you to chat real quick? Or when can I call you to chat real quick? Is 7 or is 9 better? Or 5 or is 9 better? A definitive, and then you're not looking for a yes or no. You're really looking for, well, not 7, but 8, or not 6, but 9, whatever that is. Now, here's something that some people have a problem with. It does work for my team tremendously. You had Casey and Megan on, okay? Casey is a huge builder in network marketing. I do 90% of his three-way calls. He could do three-way calls himself. He's made millions in network marketing. He will have me on the phone already, and he'll start talking to them, and he goes, hey, I just want to tell you, I got my partner Paul on the phone. He's really is an expert in product or comp plan, and I wanted to make sure he was available. So, hey, say hi to my partner Paul. You could have me on the phone or have your upline on the phone all ready to do that. Some people feel a little bit uncomfortable with that. They feel like they're sandbagging someone. And if you feel like you're sandbagging someone, you probably didn't do your approach right, or they didn't have as high an interest level as you thought. Because if someone is on a fact-finding mission to get to a yes, a no, or a maybe, they're going to want all the information they could probably get. I will tell you this. I have thousands upon thousands and thousands of people in my organization. I have never once been on a call where the person said, no, I don't like that. You should have never got somebody on the phone without telling me, and I'm out of here. I've never gotten that, ever. Okay, and I've done, I don't want to say thousands of three-way calls, but I've probably done at least 1,000 three-way calls. I've been doing this for 2.5 years. Another method, if you don't like that method, is you could text the person for the three-way call and say, call me right now, right? So when you're on the phone with the prospect, hey, I wanted to talk to you, that video was pretty exciting, right? Hold on a second. You go off and now you pick up the person that's calling you in for the three-way call. Say, as a matter of fact, my upline was just calling me, and I'd like to connect you guys just to say hi, and he wants to tell you a little bit of his story or her story. So that's another way you could do it that's less, I guess, sandbaggy, if that's a problem. And the third way is, do you mind if I get somebody else on the phone? Well, now you're, it's really your mindset. I said something early when I said that this text that I send that works 99% of the time. How confident did you feel in that? Another question I get a lot is, Paul, what video do you think is the best video to send out? And here's my answer. The video you love the most is the one you should send. And I'm going to tell you why. If you're confident in it, you will be more likely to send it. If you think the video stinks, well, then how confident are you in sending that video? So I used to teach this thing in sales where the brochure really gives the salesman confidence. Most brochures literally get thrown away the second the salesperson leaves, but it gives them confidence to walk in with something. They could hand the prospect something. So brochures give you confidence, videos give you confidence, and it should be the one that you feel, because let me tell you something, all the videos are great. Someone's going to see, you've seen them a million times, so you're trying to figure out which one works. These people have seen it for the first time. You remember the first time you saw the video and how you felt? You're like, oh my God. Oh my God. Well, that's the experience. So when we become accustomed to something, look, I'm married 31 years. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. You can get accustomed to something. You don't have that wow factor, right? But I walk into a restaurant with Linda and I see people looking and I'm like, oh, I forgot for a second there, So you need to understand that the new experience is going to be very, very powerful for someone, and you can't do the wrong thing with the right people. If they're looking, they're going to see what we all saw.
That's good.
How are we doing on time, by the way?
We're doing good on time. And
okay, good.
Like tools duplicate, people don't. I always say that. So it's important to
absolutely
use tools, and don't try to be a tool.
I've done that plenty of times, actually, and especially in my earlier days. You left the door wide open on that.
I did. I really did.
Don't be a tool, Paul. Hey, do we have any questions there or anything from anyone? Because I could just keep going and going, but.
Yeah. Let's see. Is the Get on the Gel working from the app yet on Messenger? Do you know that?
Well, I'll try it right now. I believe, yes, I've sent it today. Now, there was an issue because I'm very close to the guys who developed the app. I'm going to try it right now, just for ha-ha. So go into share. Post. Hold on a second. Post. Messenger. I'm going to go Jennifer.
Guys, go ahead and ask any questions as well.
Yeah, while I'm doing this, I'm just going to verify. I mean, we don't really have to, but.
Yeah, because for a while there was a little bit of trouble, and then people were kind of a little shaky about sending the gel app. People are shaking their head, yeah. And even just the www.getonthegel.com.
Well, that's gone because the guy who developed that, obviously the app just blew away that other app that we had. So he kind of bowed out. So then what they did was they took the video and then changed it. And the new app, our app has the new bottle and it shows the building and everything. So it's an upgraded version. I sent it to you. I don't know if it went through. It was a little glitchy just now, but I sent it to your phone through Messenger.
Your Facebook Messenger?
You know what? Yeah, but you know what's funny? Here we go. Post Messenger. I'll do Jennifer again.
Yeah, Michelle.
And send.
It wasn't working for her. Oh, I got it. Yeah.
Well, I just sent it to you, and you tell me if it goes through. Here's another thing, though. You just got it. Okay, so it is working. And are you iPhone?
No, I'm Android.
You're Android. Okay, so let me give you a little clue. If you had trouble with the app working through Messenger, through Facebook, there was a problem. Facebook changed their algorithm. So it's not that the app has got a problem, but every time Facebook changes algorithm, I was just talking to John, the guy who developed the app yesterday, because we had problems in our team. And they said the Android issue wasn't communicating with Facebook right. They had to go in and reprogram every time the Facebook does an algorithm change that affects the posting. Well, then they got to upgrade the app, and it failed on Droids. So that should be working better today. He said it will be completely done by tomorrow.
Okay, that's good to know.
Right?
All right, so my next question for you, what does a day look like for you? Like daily method of operation? Do you have a system that you go through every day? Give us a little picture into that.
So, I mean, obviously a lot of my business revolves around my phone and the, Facebook, LinkedIn, and those areas, right? So I use LinkedIn, I use Facebook, I use, and I'm constantly doing lives and things like that. So I will check on what the status of some of my things are doing, how my lives are doing, what kind of, the views I'm getting, and then I'll go in and I'll check. This is early stuff before I can contact anyone, right? Then I'll go in through Messenger, see if I missed anything, see who's looking, see who's posting or liking. I'll probably go through and do some of my non-income producing activity, like sharing, posting. I teach a thing called the never-ending list. The first thing you should do when someone gets into your business is you're going to run out of contacts in your phone. So day one, when I'm starting off a new distributor, I tell them, listen, how many Facebook friends do you have? And if it's not 5,000, I'm telling them, great, here's what you need to do. You know, when it says you may know this person, I click on every single one of them. Now, women, you have to understand that could be a challenge because men take that the wrong way. But this is the business we're in, so learn how to box, and you have to kind of get used to that. But if you want to build a business, understand that 20 new friends per day is 600 new friends per month. And think about what I'm working on my second Facebook page that's almost maxed out now. It's at 4,000 and change, right? The Paul Capozio page. And you guys are more than welcome to go look at it. I don't do anything fancy. I do a lot of things wrong, and it doesn't matter, right? If people just like what you do, that's all you have to worry about. So now you're building up these friendships. Those are the people you're going to work with months from now. It's not the people you're going to work with now, especially the new people. It's okay to burn through your brother-in-law and your sister-in-law and your cousin and your neighbor and to get all of those no's. It's absolutely fine. What are the odds that those people are going to see what you saw because they happen to be within 30 yards of your front door? you know, the odds are slim to none. But if you went on the internet and said, who out here in the universe loves to make extra money? I think you're going to get at least one yes over 1 billion and change of people, right? So you're really kind of prospecting the better place anyway. So I tell people, your brother-in-law may get in, right? My brother-in-law is not in the business. My sister-in-law is not in the business. Most of my family is not in the business, and they know what I make. They know what we've done with this business in a short period of time. It doesn't matter. You may get lucky, and that's okay, but I'd rather learn your skills on those burners. I call them burners. You know, you kind of, you know, get your skill set down, do everything wrong with them. But it's real simple. My team builds on text, video, 3-way call, and we put them in a testimonial page. And that is the system. Because so many times in a testimonial page, a woman or a man will say, I'm in really good shape for my age. I don't have any problems. I go to the gym. Everything's perfect for me. Great. Well, listen, if you change your mind, we're here. But I'm going to put you in the gel experience page. Fibromyalgia, for some reason, has come back so many times where they'll go in the gel testimonial page and they'll see a post about fibromyalgia. So, you know what? I wasn't into this gel thing, but my mom has that, or my dad has an issue with this, or, oh my God, if my hair would only grow back, whatever it may be, they may see something in that testimonial page that's going to make them wake up and say, you know what, if not me, someone else. So that's a very, very good building block. It's a step of 3, and and then I use the testimonial pages as a kicker, you know, because that's going to, you know, be your follow-up. The fortune's in the follow-up, guys.
Absolutely.
You know, just because somebody doesn't get on a 3-way call.
So after you add them to your testimonial page, how do you follow up? Is there a ticker system for that?
Well, listen, people operate differently. Some people hate or are afraid to make phone calls. But I'll tell you what, I call it the clause out situation. If one of their prospects, for a person who doesn't like to prospect or doesn't like to make phone calls, if one of their prospects gets a question answered in a testimonial page by another distributor, all of a sudden their claws come out and they want to be defensive. That's all good. It's all learning those skills, you know, but let those pages do a lot of the follow-up for you. Here's the one I do. How many have ever gotten somebody who's never watched the video? I know you can't really show hands that easy, right? Oh, he's never watched the video. I will send someone the same video. I will go back and see which video I sent them, and I'll send it to them once or twice more. And I'll get the answer of, hey, man, you sent this video to me already. And I will answer, well, did you watch it? Right? And that's enough for all of a sudden, 5 minutes later, I'll see, you know, Alan is watching the video. So it's little things like that. If you play games with it and you just take the pressure off yourself, you will do so much better. So much better. Now, let's talk about, now you've built up 5,000 friends. Well, what do you do with them? If you're not, and this is true story, Linda always thought I was watching the Hallmark movies with her, and I'm just not. I'm sitting on my phone, and I'm liking, and I'm pasting, and I'm commenting, and I'm doing all of these things on it whenever I'm playing around. That's how I waste time on my phone. I don't waste time on my phone, you know, doing anything other than building micro rapport. Because sooner or later, that person, when I send them the video, are not going to be offended because I sent them a video. Plus, I may start a communication with them. I'm not really going to send anyone the video that I didn't have some sort of a messenger conversation with. There's got to be some catalyst for that. You know, something. It could be completely irrelevant. Boat engines. You know, I'm a race boat guy. You know, so boat engines, or it could be crochet or paintings or whatever it may be. Get into that conversation. You know, I'll ask a silly question like, hey, you posted, you know, a steak dinner. You know, where is that? Oh, it's a Texas whatever steakhouse in Dallas, Texas, right? Or it's you know, Drinkwaters in Arizona. You know, whatever it may be. I'll ask that question. Oh, great, thanks a lot. Anything to get that. You know, I used to do this. I don't know if it works anymore because I stopped doing it. And I used to say, can you do me a favor? Because I was trying to get that anxiety in, because we all have that little bit of anxiety. Hey, can you do me a favor? And everybody's like, well, I don't know. What is it? You know? And I'd say, can you tell me where that restaurant was that you, now the relief comes. They have that release. And it worked. I was doing it for a while because I was asking for a favor. And now I've created that tension, and then the tension releases. They ask a question, and now we feel we've been through something emotional. So it was a little bit of a psychological ploy or psychological selling. It worked really well for me. I'd be interested if one of your team tries that to see how that works, because it worked. I mean, I went diamond on that.
So are you sending them this in private message? Like
all in private message, yeah, to build that, because you need the back and forth. If you don't have
you
a
need the
back
algorithms, yeah.
so I'd see that, I'd comment on the steak, or people love to take pictures of their food. So I will comment on that. I'd use that against them, right? Not against them, but that was a really bad choice of words, but it doesn't matter. So I will do that. I'll have that. Bob just said he's trying that tonight. Great, Bob. Let me know how you do. Let me know. I went diamond on it, so it's got to be worth at least one ranking. And create the dynamic, create the tension. Hey, can you do me a favor? I don't know, what is it? And you'll see the bubbles going that they're typing, and then stop typing, and then typing again and stop typing. So it's really good, because it's a whole matter of, it's called dynamic tension in sales.
I was just posting.
I just lost your audio.
No, I mute myself while you're talking, just in case my dog barks or anything. Okay. So I put that out. So building, I like how you said that kind of micro connection with people, and that's really
right. Micro rapport.
It's like doing those little touches so that when you do approach them with the business, you
have a relationship. Right.
Yeah, you already have a relationship. Okay, so back to daily method of operation. So you go through the system and you're building this micro rapport with people. What else are you doing during the day?
So then now I'm looking to say, okay, who are the people that I'm going to personally reach out to today? Who's the 5 or 10 people today that I'm going to try to get my shows to, explain the business to, or at least approach them. It's hard for me, because I'm trying to do that, all of a sudden, hey, can you do a 3-way call? Hey, can you do a Zoom with me? Hey, can you do a live? All of that stuff comes in. But I'll always try. So my method of operation is always interrupted with 3-way calls, because it's always about the team. It's always about helping them build. If you do that, you will be a success. So that's what I let distract me. I don't let Facebook distract me. I don't let a silly post distract me. I let my team distract me. That's the one distraction that I afford to let myself have, is the 3-way calls and everything else. Now, if someone calls me up with a question, I will definitely coach as much as I possibly can, but always tell them, if I get a 3-way call, that's the priority. It's sending a message that building is the most important thing, and everything else there's time for. The calls like this, there's times like this to do building and coaching, and there's always time for that. But there's certain time when you build, you need to build. You need to go in and go through that. Get your no's, get your yeses, get your maybes, but do that. Do that.
That's important. And I think, like having that list of what you're going to do and what you're going to get accomplished that day is really important. And I like the fact that you said too about, the 3 ways trump everything. And, I always say too, Paul, that systems duplicate, again, just like tools, they duplicate, people don't. Systems duplicate, people don't. So do you have like a checklist, the things that you went over with?
Well, let's go to why that works. I mean, that was a very, very important statement you made. So why does a 3-way call work? Well, a 3-way call works because of this. You could do a 3-way call. I could do a 3-way call. I'm sure there's plenty of people on this team that could do a 3-way call. Why doesn't Paul Capozio do his own 3-way calls? It's not about me or what I can and cannot do. There are people that got on the phone and say, I'm not doing network marketing. I can't, by the end of the call, they're like, all right, let me get my spot, and then, we'll go from there. And it's not about coercing people. It's about showing people logically, hey, take a look at this. But why is the 3-way call so critical? And why does Paul Capozio use somebody else to do a 3-way call? Even if they're, a life coach or something, it doesn't matter what rank you are. If you know the business, right? Because that is duplicatable. Anyone can get some guy on the phone with a bad accent from New Jersey to do a 3-way call for them. Right? So that's what you're teaching. You're letting people know that, well, gee, you could do this tonight. You could literally sign up, have your website, and 5 minutes from now, set up a 3-way call with me on the phone, and I could help you. And then you could reduplicate. You do not need to be an expert. So that's what you're teaching. That's why the 3-way call is so important. Some people say the 3-way call is antiquated and you could do group texting. You could do all of that. But focus on the basics, because everyone could use the telephone. Not everyone knows what a click funnel is. Not everyone knows what an autoresponder is. And to be honest with you, I did not build a business on any of those mechanisms. We built a business on text, video, three-way call. Text, video, three-way call. All right. So that's what's duplicatable. Then when somebody comes to me and says, hey, listen, I was in marketing for years. I have this funnel building system, et cetera. I said, all right, great. You're not going to teach that. If you want to add that to your arsenal, if that's how you're going to, step up your game by another marketing tool, absolutely fine with that. But just remember, someone that's down 600 levels from you on your 600th level is not going to be able to do that. Or somebody doesn't want to spend $50 a month on a click funnel system or $1,000 a month on a funnel system. They all exist. But you have to make it that everyone could duplicate, and then let people, everybody leaves the showroom with the base model car. Somebody wants to throw in cruise control and throws in the bigger engine, absolutely fine. But everyone has to at least get the base model.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's what makes our system turnkey. It's like so easy. It's like you said, it's those three simple things, and you just keep repeating them over and over. And I think
over and over.
Even myself, we can get so distracted because we want maybe bigger numbers coming in, or more people saying yes, or more people watching the video. But it really is just staying consistent and staying focused.
Oh, I'm going to give you the secret. The secret is not, look, I have thousands and thousands of people, right? I sponsored 58. Maybe it's 63. Chip asked me, how many people do you sponsor? Because you say 58. I think it's really 63, and I'm going to have to check personals. Maybe 20 of them are doing anything at this point, and that grown into 9,000, 8,000 people. 10,000 people. So this is how you recruit thousands of thousands of people. By recruiting people who are doing something and have them recruit people who are doing something. I don't care how many funnels you get, how many calls you could do at once, how many people you could put on a Zoom. It's when you start teaching other people to duplicate is when this thing grows. Not because you're trying to be an octopus and try to play a violin and a guitar and a drum set and everything else all at once. It's not, and you're not going to build strength in your team. You're not going to build camaraderie, because it's all about look, Casey, who's been on this call, built 17 millionaires in his last company. My goal is 25, okay? My goal is 25 millionaires. Well, what does that mean for Paul? Do the math. So bottom line is, that's really what you have to focus on, is helping the other people get it, helping the other people down that came in, let's say, 20 levels below all the people you thought were going to be superstars. And there's this one person down the bottom. So understand and learn how to do tap rooting, to find those people down in your organization that really, really want it. And if you do that, if you reach down below, what does that do? It energizes that whole line of everybody saying, oh my God, it is possible. There is somebody down there that just brought in, 5,000 points of volume. And then, and you realize what that possibly could mean. And you say, look, did you see your volume? It's time to go to work. And that's why you look for that diamond in the rough, and you drill down and you bring them up and you edify them and you give them the tools that they need. And that just drives excitement through the whole organization.
I love it. I love it. And it is true. And the whole thing with tap rooting, that's like a whole nother conversation. I hate that we have to wrap it up, because I have so many more questions, and you are always so gracious to us, Paul.
Anytime.
And, I really appreciate you being on here. And guys, if you want to, go ahead and unmute yourself in 1 second to say goodbye to Paul. But I want to remind you that we have one more training next week. Before we go back to our regular team Zooms, and that's with Danielle. And again, that will be our 6th person for our 6 to Success. So guys, go ahead and unmute yourself. Let's throw some love at Paul. Paul, thank you.
Thank you, Michelle, Lori. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. Jen, great. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anytime.
All right, we're going to go head over to the corporate call. Remember, peace, bunnies.
I'll see you over there.
God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Paul. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.